We're here to make the homeowner realize we're not here to stick all the tech we can in your house. At the end of the day, no matter how much tech you have, home is just home, and home is the
When you get
escape.
when you get off work and you go home, you just want to enjoy that, man. You want that peace and tranquility.
Welcome you to my life.
Hey, welcome back to National Smart Home. It has been a while. We've learned. Uh, Welcome Wade Alfarone to this humble podcast. I don't want to call it a podcast. I want to call it a conversation. And I want to discuss home as the escape. You understand, Wade. You've been around this long enough.
I
And
am
it's time.
constantly escaping to my home. It's what I
Yes.
do. It's what I do.
But I think you've seen a lot of what the industry does, and I don't think there's anybody in the industry. You know, you have Tom's Guide and these guys in their basement that are doing podcasts that have no idea what we do in and out on a daily schedule, daily basis.
Right.
And
Yeah, tech is great, but it really should remain behind the scenes.
absolutely, you say tech is great. Tech is great when it works.
Yes, like that. Yeah, it is. But it really should remain behind the scenes. I don't think people are that interested in tech unless you're in the industry, and that's a totally different situation. This is about uh, enjoying all the work that goes in behind the scenes, and being able to actually enjoy it.
I
So
think you said it best when you just said that nobody really likes tech, and when dealers or manufacturers go out there and just talk about tech and spec, the homeowner doesn't want to hear about it. They like you and your boat, right?
right,
Like you didn't want to go into the engine room. You're like, I want to take this thing out and I just want to experience what it's like to ride the ocean blue, man.
that's it, man. I mean, sometimes you're forced into the engine room, which is just not where I want to be. I want to be up on the deck, man. I want to be enjoying what the boat is supposed to. The satisfaction that it's supposed to give you is not down in the engine room. I can promise you that.
Right. Well, when you have a boat, you should have enough money to have somebody fixing your boat, but that's another story. You know
Yes,
what I'm
it is. It
saying.
is.
You said nobody likes tech. They just want to be home and be comfortable, right? And that's why we say home is the
Right.
escape.
Yeah, of course, of course. That should be your escape.
Right. I mean,
Most of
you
most of us work, right? So you go to work, and you have to put up with all of the daily drudgery of life and all that stuff. When you come home, man, you that's your place. That's where you want to be. You want to enjoy life. That's I mean, I'm not saying you can't enjoy work. A lot of people enjoy their work, but basically, when you get off work and you go home, you just want to enjoy that, man. You want that peace and tranquility.
I love my work. And I know you and Marianne, you guys travel the seven seas, the seven continents, you're Italy, England, and all. And even if it's a weekend escape, when you guys come up here, we go down there and spend the weekend.
Yeah,
I love you, bro, but I want to be in my own bed. And this show or this podcast or
yeah,
this
same,
gathering,
same, man.
right, is just for us to relate to homeowners. And like, we're not here to sell you gadgets. We're here to help you understand what's available and what's going to serve you best, right? And
Right.
I'm going to come from, remote control, automation, home audio, home video, home theater. And then Wade's going to be able to take those. We call him the professor, right? Because he's got Marianne,
Yeah, I got
and
Marianne.
he is
So,
super intelligent, folks. I'll tell you that. So we're going to throw
well,
some
thanks. I
good questions
appreciate
at
the vote
Wade.
of confidence there.
Yeah, but you tell us how it works, and we'll tell you what we want done. So if anybody wants to come on the podcast, whether you're a homeowner, manufacturer, or a dealer, we would absolutely love to have you because a panel of one will never give you the best answer. We want 100,000, 10,000 people to tell us what they
Absolutely,
want.
absolutely. The more feedback and the more questions, the more it makes us think, and the more it helps us, discover things too. It's not like we know everything. We're discovering just like everybody else. So, you
So
know.
do you have any frustrations, or was there a time when you couldn't just wait to get home and there was a comfort of home that has to do with technology?
Yeah, and as much as so it's interesting you'd bring that up. As much as I love technology, and I was in the industry for all those years, when I was at work, building things, designing speakers, whatever it was, that's not where I wanted to test things. I would take them back to my home. I would go into a room. I would close the door, turn off the lights, and that's where I would do my listening. I didn't want any outside interference. I didn't want to be bothered, and I didn't want to think. I just wanted to sit in front of the speakers without even seeing the speakers. I didn't want to see anything. I didn't want to hear anything except what was coming out of the speakers. And if the music made the hair stand up on the back of my neck, or I shed a tear, you know, then that means that I did what I was supposed to do with the design of those speakers. There were plenty of designs I took back and closed myself in a room and just did blah,
Right.
but when you do it right, and you take everything out of the equation, man. It's all emotion. It's just pure emotion. That's what music should be. Just emotion. There is no
And
tech in music.
that's where our industry started, right? Back in the
Yeah,
70s with audio, with a radio in the kitchen. That's
yeah,
the basis of our industry. That
that's right.
FM radio, you had one in your kitchen, and did you
I
dance with your
did.
sister while you did the dishes? Of course you did.
Yeah, I mean, music was always about emotion. You know.
And if you're not into music, then you're on the wrong podcast because this is based on
Yeah,
music.
that's yeah.
A home theater. Listen, we love a good automated shade. We love a nice thermostat keeps us warm when we walk in the house, but we want
Yep.
to talk about what makes us comfortable at home. And whether it's the summer and you're outside in the backyard with music playing, whether you're heading indoors in September, October, where we are now, we got those holidays coming. And I can't wait, man. We get together at the holidays, and Wade, you and I have had
Right.
plenty of holidays together.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
that song comes on, and we just look at each other and we're like, dude. And
Remember that?
that's what this is about.
Yeah, because it'll bring back it brings back the past. Brings the past to the present. I mean, it's just like you'll hear a song and a memory will come into your head, and it's just, and let's face it, that's what life is all about. It's life is just a big collection of memories, right?
Right.
So if a song can invoke a memory that's important to you, man, that's then it's done its job. You know.
And the more people it invokes that memory to is even cooler because if I'm with my brothers and sisters, it's like, six people like, yo, dude, you remember that? Like, so
Yeah, yeah,
let me ask you, for anybody that doesn't know, I'm Rob Scuba from National Smart Home and Lantern Room Marketing. I've known Wade for 25 years. We've been on this path together for a really fun, good time. And you can go to nationalsmarthome.org, go to our story, and you could look at my profile and Wade's profile and find out that he's a super well-known audio engineer, especially from the car audio days. And that's why we came together, is to bring these emotions and not just about technology, but why the smart home exists, why we love home theater, why we love hi-fi. And the question I want to ask you, Wade, as people get to
yeah.
know both of us, is you said that you go and you sit and your job was literally to see how good music sounded. And I want you
Right.
to think about different people and the different systems or the different speakers that people enjoy. Did you find that interesting? Are there different speakers for different people?
There absolutely are. And it's I mean, people will argue over what sounds good. And first of all, you can't win that argument because what sounds good to one person may not be what the other person is wanting to hear. And you'll never get anybody to agree that there's one speaker fits all. It just doesn't really work that way for a number of reasons. It could be aesthetics play a part of it as well, especially when you're talking about fitting it into a home and not making it look like the speakers took over the whole room, right? So that's
Right.
another part of it. But without getting into all that, I mean, yeah, I think um, you'll find that some people like a lot of bass response. Other people like more subdued bass response. You know, people's perception usually falls outside of the tech range too. That's the other thing is, everybody's chasing that flat response and blah, blah, blah. The reality is most people don't want that. That's not what they're looking for. So it does vary from person to person, you know, greatly. And also it depends on what kind of music you listen to. That's huge, right? If somebody's listening to hip hop, that speaker that somebody wants for jazz is not going to cut it. So there's different taste in music, therefore there's different taste in speakers.
So
So
when I originally asked you that, I was thinking sound, different speakers for different sounds because of what I have. And when you started explaining, I said, "Oh my God, this sounds political. We're going to go left and right here, and no one's ever right." But when you mentioned the aesthetic of the speaker, that's a completely different argument as well because Christine would never have a floor standing speaker in the living room until she sat at my friend's house. And you know the story.
right,
She sat in that sweet spot backwards and was like, "What is this?"
yeah,
And we got in the car going home from North Carolina. I was like, "Hey, can we get floor?" She said, "Absolutely. Let's get floor standing speakers." So it's interesting you brought that point up.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden, function trumps aesthetics, doesn't it? Like,
Yes,
yeah, just all
emotion.
of a sudden, as soon as you realize what sound can be, all of a sudden you go, all right, I'll put up with the speakers being visible, you know.
Right. And
So,
home is the escape. And when I say escape, whether you have a motorcycle, you have a boat, you have a jet ski, you fish, all of these hobbies that we have are escapes. And as soon as you take the motorcycle key, as soon as you take the horse saddle, as soon as you take whatever these things are, no insurance, no mortgage, no taxes, nothing matters anymore
right,
because you're just focused in it. And when you say that, and as I think about it, when you have a set of floor standing speakers, and you said, well, when you take away that and you have to go with something that fits your eyes or your design of your home, then you're limiting the experience. So I would say that's like getting into a roller coaster and having to strap all in where you don't even have the experience anymore.
right, where
Like,
you don't get tossed around anymore. Your hair's
right.
not flying around. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't you agree the floor standing speaker is the absolute pinnacle?
Well, I mean, I would say yeah, typically, but I mean, I've also seen some cool stuff that's not floor standing.
Oh,
Um, you know, I mean, there were companies, especially Germany's is big into this sort of thing. Well, like Bang& and Olufsen, they made a lot of stuff that was very
still
cool
do.
that wasn't obtrusive, and they still do. So there's different options out there. But I mean, if again, if you're talking about a space where it's just a gathering area and not a seating area, not a theater, right, and not a critical listening area, but just a space, floor standing is not going to cut it, right? Because now all of a sudden you got people milling around. Let's say you got a game room or a rec room in your house,
Right.
and you've got pool tables and foosball tables and pinball and all this stuff going on. And you want music, right? And you still want quality music, but floor standing is not going to cut it because they're moving around. They're not seated. So there is no sweet spot at that point. You can still get good sound in mono. I mean, it's definitely possible to have quality sound in mono. Stereo is a different construct, right? And it's one that's really enjoyed when you're seated, and
And I
it's
think you
especially
have,
enjoyed in the sweet spot.
right. So sweet spot is between the left and the right speaker. You're in the center for those at home that don't know.
Right,
And now we're talking about different applications. So you mentioned the listening room, you mentioned the living room, you have a kitchen, even the bathroom in the morning. You have all these different situations where you're going to have a different listening experience. But I still will
right,
say nothing connects people like music, and nothing comforts me when I'm alone like music, right?
right.
So go ahead back to your listening room as floor standing, and then give us some idea of what goes on in the house and the best experience for audio.
In terms of floor standing,
No, just different speakers
just
on where you would put them in the home.
just in general, I mean, for example, if going back to the rec room, if you have a rec room, then I would put the speakers probably higher up and facing somewhat down, right? So that you have full coverage, people can move around, they're not disturbing the sound field, and you have good coverage, and you're filling the whole room with sound. So that's one situation there. Another area could be in the bedroom, right? Where let's say you want the theater environment in your bedroom. I know some people don't believe in watching TV in bed. Other people can't sleep without a TV in their bedroom. But if you're going to have that theater experience in the bedroom, then it's probably in walls, right?
Right, but I
It's
don't
probably
think
gonna,
like I wouldn't put a theater in the bedroom. I would just have a TV. And there's you have when you talk about a theater to me, and you people
right,
know it out there that know me, a home theater is a distraction-free zone. That means it's not a living room, it's not a bedroom. When you say home theater to me, that means you're walking into an enclosed private space that has a door. And when I go in there and I shut that door again, everything disappears except for what I'm about to consume, which is either a concert, games, binge watching, a family movie, all right. So when we talk about home theater, I want to make clear, and that's a totally different animal,
so when was the last time you went to a public theater, Rob?
dude. It was a drive-in, the Warwick Drive-in, which you're very familiar
we
with.
we went together.
Yes.
We actually went together.
During COVID.
We all went as a group during COVID to
Yeah,
the drive-in theater in Warwick. Yeah, it's true.
exactly.
But I mean, other than that, like, what's your take on public theaters? I know what mine is. I can tell you what mine is, but what's yours?
I, well, thankfully, I have you as a friend and plenty of people in the business that I could have a room that looks and sounds better than any theater anywhere because you're never going to be able to pick your sweet spot, right? Depending on what time you get there, unless you're really early.
Right.
And then you have all the nuances of, $10 Snickers bar, $25 popcorn. And what's your take?
Kids screaming.
It's what? Yes.
Kids screaming. What, you don't love that? You don't love kids screaming during the
Yeah.
most important part of the movie? Come on,
Right.
you're such a
Uh,
killjoy.
I'm in the movie theater. I'll call you back.
Yeah. What about the cell phone going?
I saw a video on TikTok the other day. He was giving a review of the new Springsteen movie while he's in there and the movie's playing. He's like looking down at his phone. And it's just that's what you're dealing with in a public theater.
Yeah, I haven't been to a public theater in a long time. If I go to a public theater, it's probably because my son has bugged me and made me feel guilty for not going to see something with him. But the reality is, yeah,
You
home
couldn't wait to
theater,
get
home
home.
theater.
Home is
I
the
couldn't wait
escape.
to get home in peace and quiet in front of my own theater and enjoy. Yeah, absolutely,
That's great.
absolutely.
I mean, I love Avery, but it's funny that we're talking about home is the escape and you're with your own kid and you're like, dude, I just want to be home.
I know, and he just wanted to go get $35 popcorn.
Right.
That was very important to him
Mhm.
because
But that's
I was paying. By the way, that's
right. Well, he sends you a bill after the movie. Pops Venmo me some money. But home audio, home theater. What is your favorite home automation or technology outside audio and video that you appreciate?
Oh wow. Everybody's gonna get mad at me over this one probably. um I really dig Alexa.
Cool. I do.
I mean, I really dig Alexa. I know it's like not it's lo-fi, blah blah blah, but it's not obtrusive. It's not in my way. It doesn't bother me, and it works. It like literally does exactly what I tell it to do when I tell it to do it, and it's inexpensive and it works. It literally doesn't. The computer. You don't have to reset it, right? Like the computer doesn't go down.
No
Like,
unplugging it.
I don't want to bring any names up, but we've all had those systems that just they work until they don't, and then you're calling somebody, calling a tech in at $200 an hour to work on the program that crashed. And so yeah, I think probably my favorite tech that's not really tech. Anybody can set it up. It's like you hook it up, it walks you through a couple of things. I have it everywhere. By the way, I have it everywhere in the boat, and it's very cool because you go from room to room to room, and it knows the distance between each echo. So there's no delay. Like it's literally a perfectly smooth transition from one room to the next. And if you have rooms that share a space, but they're a big distance apart, how sometimes you get that delay.
Yes.
There's no delay because each echo is talking to each echo, and they all know where they are, and they compensate for that. And
Techno
and what are they, $29 a piece or something?
right. Technology is amazing. And I want to point out that this is a safe space, Wayne. It's okay that you like Alexa. And
Okay.
for everybody watching this, whatever you're into, there's no judgment. I love Alexa. I
I was
am
afraid. I was afraid some of my friends in the industry were going to get very angry at me.
absolutely not, dude. You said three things. It's inexpensive, it works, and it's what was the third? I don't know what it was, but let me tell you, you give me those two things, it's inexpensive and it works, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, what else do you want? And the thing is, I've had some of my friends say, "Oh yeah, but it's lo-fi and it's blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you're using your hi-fi equipment. You're using your very expensive hi-fi equipment, and I just noticed that you're streaming it off of your iPhone." Oh, okay. So so what? That's the same thing that you're getting out of the Echo. So you don't like the speaker in the Echo? I understand that. It's got an output.
Well, you also have fast food and fine dining. Like, look, I'm running into the kitchen. I'm going to grab my coffee. From there, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to hop in the shower.
Right,
I don't have time to sit in front of two towering speakers and just enjoy it for the moment. Like,
right.
but I want my music or my morning show or my news or whatever it is that I want to listen to. And it's on the fly, like you said. And I don't even have to have my phone. I can just say, Alexa, put on
Yeah,
that,
play that. Yeah, because it's got
right?
it has its own. It can access everything. Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music. It can play anything you ask it to play just simply by asking it. Remember when we used to have to like go through a box of CDs
Oh my God, dude.
and had
A-tracks.
to find the stuff that we wanted to listen to, and then if you were fortunate enough to have a CD changer that held like 100 discs or something, then you were big time. Then that was it, man, because you didn't have to go through the box, right? But
So,
you had to wait about 30 seconds for the carousel to go around,
yeah.
find it,
Yeah.
and they would get jammed too. And now it's just like jam free jams. Oh,
But
that's good, man.
jam-free
Jam free
jams. You better
jams. I like that.
copyright that,
I should
trademark that,
copyright
dude.
that. I'm going to announce it now. That is officially owned by me.
Jam-free
Jam
jams.
free jams.
But when you say go into the cassette deck, not only did you have to get the cassette out of wherever you were getting it from, but you had to put it in and rewind it to your favorite song because it was already played through that part, and you'd be looking at it and flipping it, right?
Oh yeah, that too. But I was actually talking about the CD cassettes where you would load all the CDs in the
Yes.
carousel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, but those two, and I mean, we don't want to show too much of our age here with the matchbox under the with the match book of matches under the 8 track to get it to
I
track
definitely want to show my
properly.
age because everybody's be like, that's the way I feel. I just want to
Yeah,
walk into the kitchen and say, play my music. But you're talking
yeah,
about Alexa, not just for audio. I know you got some cool stuff going on there. You got some cool scenes that you work with in the bedroom and in the kitchen. I think that's what you're mentioning is the scenes, right?
yeah. It's literally it's being able to go into any room and just tell it to turn lights on and off, to tell it to play a song. I mean, I can get it to do pretty much anything I want. It'll control the drapes. It'll do all that stuff. But the thing is, it does it behind the scenes. You just don't have to deal with anything. You're just talking to it. You're just
Right.
telling it to do something, and it does it.
But we don't want to give the assumption that you had to get motorized shades. You had to get a switch that was compatible with Alexa to your lamp and your lighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah,
Right. But you were
absolutely.
able to set it up by yourself. Well, you're a technician, though. Not every, I think
Yeah,
we
but
have
I
three
don't think it's that.
people.
I really don't think it's that difficult. And I'll tell you, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I used to help people over the phone with this stuff, and a lot of times they were older people that were not tech savvy, right? And depending on what it was that you were getting them to do, it could go from easy to this guy will never get this, right? Um, Alexa was never that. It was always very easy for me to get people to set that stuff up because you just tell them here's the rule: buy Alexa enabled devices, right? If they're
Yes.
compatible with Alexa, Alexa will find it, connect to it, and you're
Yes.
done. And it's not hard,
So
right?
Lutron shades and lighting, Sonos speakers, if you want better sound than the puck.
Right.
And there's a bunch of other that we'll talk
And
about
they're
as
all
this
they're
pod.
all Alexa enabled.
100% too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is
Hmm.
really it really is easy.
And easy. I don't want to make like there's some people that just aren't tech savvy. I got a cousin that anything he touches electronically just dies, dude. Like it's just people. I don't know if they have bad energy, they're a battery themselves, but it just
Yeah,
goes haywire. So I think you have three people. You have the ones that'll do DIY, do it for myself,
right.
right? You have a DIF, which is do it for me, and you have do it with me, which that can go. And then
Right.
you have people that want to custom install to set up the whole thing and have one main system that controls the whole house.
Sure. Listen, that's all still out there for them. If that's what they
100%.
want, it's available. I'm
Right.
not saying that Alexa is the only way to go by any
Oh
means,
no.
you know,
I don't
but
want to I don't
but
want to put
for me it was easy and it works and it does everything I want it to do. But yeah, you still have to have that system. I mean, look, I still have all Rotel and Vandersteen audio and all that kind of stuff. That's what I sit in front of, right?
right.
That's what I sit in front of, and that's what I really listen to music through. If I want to concentrate and sit in the sweet spot, it will be between the Vandersteens.
100%. I
So,
just think that if you're so adamant that this is simple for everybody, you allow me to post your phone number here so that they can call you 24/7 to make sure that they're connecting their stuff right.
Have you heard the word recant? I'm going to go
Okay.
ahead and recant that statement at this time.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for
But
everybody.
so let's say a percentage. You think 30% of people can set up what you did?
I think it's higher than that. My mother's 87. She did it. I'm just saying. So
Okay.
I think it's higher than 30%, but I
Right.
can't. I don't know the exact. I have no idea what the exact number is, but I think it's a little bit higher than 30%.
Okay. I just
Maybe.
don't want to set anybody up for failure by saying, "Hey, Wade said I could do this," and then it's like, but don't worry about it because we got plenty of people that can help you out there across the country. National Smart Home will
And
hook you
that's
up.
so that's the other thing you brought up. Like there are those people that need help with doing this. Okay, there are people out there that will help you set up your Alexa. It's not,
100%, dude.
absolutely, and it's going to be a lot cheaper than the guy that's going to set up your restaurant. I can promise you
Mm.
that.
And there's a lot more systems out there. You have Apple Siri, that's voice. You have Apple HomeKit.
The
My
Google's
absolute favorite is Josh AI, which is a very private voice control system. It's a little more elaborate. You're not going to set it up on your own, but
right,
that is the system that you want to go for if you're looking for a custom install where Alexa's not collecting all your information or
right.
listening when it's not supposed to be, right?
But you
We
don't
used to
like
have,
those ads. You don't like when you look for a tire and then you and you just mentioned to your wife, I think we need to get tires for the Acura, and then all of a sudden you have 5 million ads on all your
yeah,
devices for tires that fit an Acura, and you didn't even look for them yet.
yeah.
You mean
They're
that?
just
You're talking about that?
chasing, yeah, chasing you down, clubbing you like a seal. Like,
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty impressive that they listen to your conversation, even though they say they don't.
it's not impressive because we all go on our phones to search something for work. And let's just say I need to look at Lutron shades for a website I'm creating. The next 4 months is nothing but, do you want to buy these Lutron shades no matter what website I go to? And it's like, I already got them, dude. Like, how do you
Yeah,
tell
and
them that you bought it already?
yeah, and what's funny is I hear a lot of people really bitch about that. And then I go, well, would you rather they sent you an ad for shoes? At least it's what you're looking for.
Right.
There, I'm just saying, glass half full. It's what you're looking for. So,
Always have.
yep,
So Monday is National Smart Home Day. That's
yes,
our
it
day,
is.
man. That's
Yes, it
a
is.
day for us to take something like this and say, hey, we're not here to scare you. We're not here to turn your home into a showroom. We're here to make, again, Chris Gamble from Customized over in the UK.
Right.
He said, no matter how much technology you put into it, it's always going to be home. And I love that, dude.
That's a
I
pretty good
remember it
accent.
from six
That's
or
a
ten
pretty good
years ago.
accent. Have you been practicing that?
I have.
That was pretty good. That's pretty good.
I listen to Chris enough and I love it. It's respectful, very respectful. But when he said
Yeah.
that, it was astounding. I was like, wow, that's amazing, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely true too. It just hits home.
It's,
Sorry, this is gonna become
right,
like the pun show, the two-man pun show.
right. So yeah, Smart Home Day. It was we created it in 2018 because there was a big disconnect, and there still is between manufacturers and dealers speaking to homeowners. And
Right.
as I probably said during this podcast, I'm sure you don't want your yacht to look like a showroom when people come over and it's like it's almost uncomfortable. The
Yeah.
only people that would step into a home with technology all over the place and said, "This is the way it should be," would be technicians, right?
Yeah. Well, they want to keep their job, right? So I mean, that's what they do, man. They sling
Right,
wires and they hook all that stuff up and they make it work and all those lights that are flashing in the back room.
right.
Yeah, but that's not what your home is about, man. That's not what your home is for. Your home is your personal space, and it carries your personality. And unless you're like some tech guy that just like is always enamored with seeing what's creating the emotion, if you work for Disney animatronics, okay, we'll cut you a pass. But for the average person, me included, and you as well, being in the industry, we still don't want to see all the tech. It's not what it's about. It's about a comfortable environment that invokes emotion. And we're not trying to make it look like like a Best Buy showroom. We're trying to make it look like our home.
Yeah.
And so, it's not about tech, man. It's about emotion, and it's about loving music and loving movies. And, that's what it's about.
The experience. But when you go into somebody's home and they have gadgets and tech all over the place, number one, it's not comfortable. It's stress. And
It
then
is.
you get the people that come over that are into it, and it's like, oh, you didn't update that, and that's old, and that's not the right brand. Like, dude, come in and just have a drink with me and let's watch some TV, dude.
Listen, even I've watched videos with David Gilmour from Pink Floyd in his home, and it just looks like a really nice home until he takes you in the studio.
Right.
So there's a place for everything, but
Yeah.
throughout your home having all that tech, it just looks weird.
Right.
Just looks weird, to me anyway.
So what do you say we invite some people on here Monday? Monday's the 3rd, right?
Monday's National Smart Home Day. Let's do it.
Absolutely, dude.
Let's
We'll
do it.
get
Let's get the more the merrier.
I want some angry homeowners in here talking about I can't figure this out. I want some happy homeowners telling us about the dealers that they use, the experiences that they have,
That
because
would be
those
fantastic.
home, what's that, pal?
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, the
Love
ones
it.
that have it and enjoy it, especially home theater, and if you find somebody with a two-channel system, it's like Chinese. Like you can't, there's no words to explain how you feel,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, unless you're a poet. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't care what kind of poet you are. You're never going to explain to me what a home theater is or two-channel. We got date night and stereo now, which we've been talking about.
Yeah.
It's a great time to reconnect with your wife, girlfriend, husband, boyfriend, whatever it is. And music evokes truth. And you sit down and have a couple of glasses of wine. And one of my questions I asked you before we wrap up was,
Yeah.
um, You Can't Find My Way Home by Eric Clapton. I can't remember the name of the band, but you know the song.
Right.
And the question on Date Night in Stereo was, to you, is home a place or a person?
Ah, a place or a person. I noticed you didn't put thing in there, so we'll it's not a person, place, or thing.
Oh no, it's either a place or a person to me,
Either
or it could be
place or a
both.
person. I think mm, I think it's both. I know maybe you want me to choose one, but I'm not going to do it. I think it's both.
No,
I think
no,
it's both, right? Because
you're a big boy, Wade. You're this big,
listen. The what makes the
Linda.
home what makes the home is the people that are in it. So a home is just a thing unless there are people in it, and then it takes on the personality of those people. And I think it's the combination of the two that makes it a home. People turn a thing into a home.
100%. So, and I say that wherever I am in the world with Christine, I'm home because she's my, I always look in her face and I say, you're my home because I know about your growing up and my growing up and once you find that person, it's like I'm home, dude. I don't care if I'm in Europe, I don't care if
Listen,
I'm in
I
Italy.
completely agree that when you're with that person, sure, if you're single, I don't know, I don't want to exclude anybody, but if you're single
Right.
and you don't have that person, you will get homesick.
So if people are single, can they buy a home?
They can, they can. Usually involves a pet to make it a
Right.
home, to make it an actual home.
There you
But
go.
yeah, of course, of course. I know. Listen, I know a lot of single people that are perfectly happy.
All right, man. Listen, it's been great catching up.
It's
Um,
been a lot of fun. It's been
yeah,
good. We're gonna do this regularly, right? So
100%
we're gonna
every
we're
week.
gonna catch up all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of news. We're going to have some special guests, some manufacturers. I know I'm going to get Theo
Yes.
Calamarakis on this. I'm
Yep.
sure Josh AI will let Alex come and hang out with us for a little while, and a
Awesome.
bunch of other people that are in the industry. I want to speak to homeowners. I want to hear what they're going through, the good experience and the bad. And of course, I want people to learn more about what you did because you got such an interesting life, dude.
I've got stories.
All right, pal. Have
So
a
hopefully
great
everybody will
night.
stay tuned, and we'll share our stories with the world.
100%. That's what it's about in our
Also,
home.
this is a great night, man.
Home is the escape. Thursday
Absolutely.
nights, Wade and I for Home is the Escape, and we will see you Monday, November 3rd for Smart Home
For
Day.
National Smart Home Day.
Yes,
Absolutely.
sir. Thanks,
Can't
pal.
wait.
All right, pal.
All right, brother. Peace.
Ciao, babe.
Welcome to my life, the limelight, the reason why the young and rhyme right.